these years and I still can't get my head around what Augustine did. Sacrificing her whole team. And for what? What did our blood pay for? Oh, Commander. Thought you were Val. Glad to see you up and ambling about. And not, human stew. You know, when I first learned some of the escape pods made it away from the station, I'd hoped. I did search for you, Commander. Just as soon as I was able. I'll make it up to you, Commander. Somehow. So then, I gather Val's described our state of affairs?
Confirmed. The Commander has received a full briefing on the following topics: the invasion of Arcadia, the Rift, and Agent DeVries' survival.
DeVries. Would have been better if she joined the dead. I figured she'd done just that until I got the alert that she brought down the Earth Directorate satellite. If she's of a mind to, she could use the information on that thing to destabilize the Rift and destroy Arcadia. She was one of us, Commander. It's our responsibility to stop her.
Acts of unprovoked violence are not sanctioned by the Earth Directorate except on occasions of premeditative self-defense.
She's gone to ground now, but as part of her original undercover mission, DeVries was inserted at the Vox Relay Station on Paradise Island. She'd have followed protocol, established a safe room there. Wager that's where we'll find clues as to her present plans and whereabouts. Thank you, Commander. Means a lot coming from you. Just to be clear, I'm not saying we're strolling up to the Vox station and knock nicely. The Vox is highly restricted and heavily defended. It'd be a death sentence. We might ought to explore the island first, find out what we can. The satellite alert pinged DeVries' tracker in a town named Fairfield. Wasn't nowhere clear as yours, so we need to poke around a bit. Doubt she's there now, but it seems a better place to start than assaulting a protectorate communications hub.
Ready to disembark, Commander. Just say the word.
Records indicate that lockboxes, such as the two housed in this dispenser, were originally part of a failed smuggling operation. Special lockbox keys are needed to open them. After discovering the first lockbox, Agent Ibarra installed this dispenser to house additional lockboxes, which may be located throughout the colony. Unfortunately, due to a jam, the dispenser is currently inoperable. Agent Ibarra deprioritized its repair in order to focus on rescuing you, Commander. Tampering may result in damage to the container's contents. Theorizing. Extracting the contents from the first lockbox may disencumber the dispenser, allowing it to return to normal operations. This unit has an advanced decryption key that can open the first lockbox, Commander. Agent Ibarra updated this unit's security protocols following an incident of minor exposure. This unit is currently forbidden from unlocking containers, safes, and bathrooms in use. Helpful addendum. Scans also indicate an Auntie's Choice dematerializer within the first lockbox, which you may find useful. Valerie units are not authorized to comment on active or inactive criminal cases. Additionally, the second lockbox's contents may contain parts to upgrade your Valerie unit. Upgrades are recommended to improve your experience of Valerie. Please do not attempt physical intimacy with your Valerie unit. This unit is programmed for all manner of self-defense. Acknowledged. An upgraded Valerie unit will boost the team's overall level of effectiveness by an estimated 87.3%. Please be on the lookout for any additional lockboxes, which may be stored here for your convenience. Congratulations on your acquisition of the dematerializer. The dispenser is now functioning normally. Your ability to conceal homicides has also been increased by 85.9%.
Careful. Any closer and we'll like to regret it.
sounding glib, that ain't a good sign.
Correction. The sign seems to be functioning nominally.
Can't say the same for the trooper.
Geometry. Adjust your schedule accordingly.
Guns locked and loaded. Let's get the signal.
Company. Must be from that ship on the landing pad.
Auntie's Choice welcomes our new employees. Former subjects, embrace your new freedom with a generous helping of Purple Berry Crunch Limited.
Whoa there, go-getter. Welcome to Fairfield, now under the new and improved management of Auntie's Choice. I'd usually ask if you were affiliated with the previous regime, but you lack the bewildered gaze of a yay-saying protectorate subject. Even so, going to have to ask you to identify yourself. Still a war on and all. Huh. Really? Everyone knows we're cultivating our sprat population for a new deep-fried snack line. So I refuse to fall for such a ham-handed attempt at dissemblance. Look, we're Auntie's Choice. Lying's fine. We downright admire it even, if you pull it off. Next time, try a little harder. End of the day, we let most anybody in. Bottom line's all we care about is our bottom line. That'll be all, unless you got any questions before you're on your way.
Too much Spacer's Ale? Try Auntie's Choice Pep Pills. Good for what ails you.
On the way from the landing pad? Had a convoy out that way. They're overdue. See any sign of them? Damnation. I had a friend on that detail. He always carried this, keepsake. You didn't happen to find it, did you? I'd normally think you some sort of unfeeling monster for a remark like that. Combat can do funny things to one's gray matter. Them Protectorate drones been a serious menace of late. Heard Trooper Faulkner shot a few. You find a way to put a stop to them, there's a bounty for it. What? You been in hibernation or something? We're here to bring the free market's liberation to the people of Arcadia, and Arcadia's bounty to the rest of the galaxy, of course. As I've never heard of her, can't say I can. Seems like Minister Milverstreet knows everybody, though. Probably ask him. Anything else? Oh, we got everything. One of them, at least. Clinic's over there on your left. Watering hole's a bit down on the right. Market's a straight shot down the lane. Before I forget, I have standing orders to send all newcomers to Minister Milverstreet. He's in the town hall. That'd be the one with the giant hologram on it. Can't miss it. Once again, welcome to Fairfield, the official new home of free trade and self-reliance on Eden.
in excruciating pain.
I must ask you to hold still.
My liver ain't the lily kind. Tell it to me straight, Doc.
The bullet shattered your tibia and all but demolished your gastrocnemius muscle. Due to the risk of infection, I have to abscise your leg. There is good news, however. I recently enrolled in a course on advanced amputation techniques, so I'll be seeing a positive return on my investment sooner than expected. Oh, I'm sorry. You must be my replacement, since you're so clearly qualified to do my job. I wonder your spine has not collapsed from the weight of carrying such a massive head.
Say, how sore are my pockets gonna be after all this, Doc? Don't suppose there's a discount for only taking a portion of the leg?
I'm not running a charity. If you desire full treatment, you'll pay full cost. If that's a problem, seek compensation from your commanding officer. A kind, if naive offer. Unless you have thousands of bits to burn, any amount you could provide would be a drop in the tank at best. My services do not come cheaply.
This is a mighty big decision, Doc. Can I have a moment to noodle on it?
I don't encourage delays, but very well. It'll take a few minutes for me to warm up the saw anyway. Short of you skipping back in time and ordering the coagulant I need, I doubt anything can be done to accelerate the timetable for treating these soldiers. I can barely get the damn thing to produce antiseptic, so I sincerely doubt it. But if you've the training to work such a machine, you're welcome to try. Now, was there anything else? Some. Most still tout the all-healing nature of Protectorate medicine. But despite that, they're surprisingly amenable to accepting treatment.
They ain't grown up with the right to dissent. Probably wouldn't even occur to them to turn down poison if you told them to take it.
Good thing I don't prescribe poison then. Normally. In truth, I expected more resistance given the sudden transition. But I'm not one to complain of a headache I don't have. I'm rather amazed. How did you manage to formulate coagulant with only a handful of ingredients? In any case, I hate being in debt to anyone, so here, something for your trouble. It's your lucky day, Trooper. Not only has our good Samaritan here suggested an alternate form of treatment that will allow you to keep your leg, but they've also made a coagulant that will greatly reduce any complications as I excavate the tibia shrapnel from your remaining muscle.
That still sounds kind of painful.
I'm going to administer a localized anesthetic. You'll hardly feel a thing. Now, if you don't like needles, I'd advise you to look away. I'm rather amazed.
No time to conversate.
Don't mean to sound unsociable, but you might not want to stand so close. The bleeding ain't contagious, but it ain't slowed much neither. I hate to bleed all over you. Wouldn't mind conversating a bit, though. Anything to take my mind off the pain. Oh, it stings.
This unit is not permitted to operate within corporate-owned medical facilities without said corporation's consent. Non-legally binding reassurances, however, may be offered.
Reassurances, you say? Like what?
Deploying reassurance. Do not worry. You will be fine.
I guess that's something. Look at me, drawing comfort from a drone after being attacked by one. Funny world, ain't it? I was on sentry duty, bravely surveying our perimeter for threats, when a Protectorate drone attacked out of nowhere. Third time in as many days. I returned fire like it was a cereal. Bang, bang, bang! Pew, pew, pew! Oh, not excessively, of course. Don't want Auntie taking that extra ammunition out of my paycheck. Again, it was all going fine until the damn thing blasts me while I'm reloading. Mighty uncourteous, you ask me. Much obliged. That feels night and day better already. Protectorate forces won't know what hit them once I'm back in the field. Thanks again, friend.
Don't believe the rumors. Our rate of sellers is lower than anywhere else on Earth.
Keep your petty skepticism. I'll pay my tab and no
Never been the type to sit behind a desk all day. Welcome to the name-pending Saloon, purveyor of spirits and stimuli. What'll it be, stranger? That is an ensuing step on my 19-point business plan. Trying to find a name that would convince patrons to spend their hard-earned bits here. Like to hear a few contenders? Quite far, actually. In fact, we're all the way up to 18 of 19. Shh, not so loud. Look, operating a new location sure ain't easy. Swear I get blamed for anything going wrong, whether it's my fault or some foul up from the local head office. But the nice thing about Fairfield, if you sound like you got some know-how, people believe just about any bit of hooey or bunkum you declare. Why, sure. You'd be surprised how much loose talk and idle speculation occurs around here. What, between them Protectorate defectors, finally able to speak their minds, and all our off-duty Auntie's employees carping about work and the war. Any particular topic you have in mind? You're asking me for the particulars of a high-level corporate acquisition. Like, an in-depth accounting of the various parties who vied for control and who won out in the end? They merged. Rebranded. Auntie Cleo seems in charge now. Dunno. Do my best to steer clear of corporate intrigue. Vox Station's run by a brigadier by the name of Montelli. Sounds like he's as much a danger to his own troops as ours. Real piece of work, even by Protectorate standards. Reportedly enamored of show trials and summary executions. Tell you one thing you can't avoid, the bridge. No other way around it, and at present, it's held by Protectorate forces. We have a small contingent of troops bivouacked nearby. Forward Operating Base, they call it. Oh, Minister Milverstreet's blessed with the gift of gab. Swear he could sell bypass shunts to a Raptidon. Ain't one of them falsely magniloquent types, though. Sincere fella. Shares command of Fairfield with Acquisitions Officer Carr. She's blunt and murderous. Two traits Auntie's choice highly prizes in a commander of corporate forces. To say they have differing approaches to leadership is like saying, gee, suns are hot, whilst being incinerated in a solar eruption. My pleasure. Got anything for me in return?
your Earth Directorate. Never figured to meet one of you all, especially in here. It's like some hapless critter, once thought extinct, just trotted on into the place. Here I was hoping you'd have a good story for me in exchange, but oh well. Not everyone's a seasoned raconteur. All right. Appreciate you dropping by.
That guard wasn't being ironical about the giant hologram over town hall. Well, guess we ought to go acquaint ourselves with that minister like she said.
No signs of corrosion. Exhaust. You just stopping by to admire the mines, or is there something I can help you with? See this system here? It deploys extreme countermeasures against overhead attacks in the form of aerial explosives, oft referred to as Skymines by those who prefer brevity. However, the whole thing is currently non-operational. Some problem with the lifting mechanism. No lift means no Skymines. No Skymines means the enemy can blow in like a bad sail, and we'll all be passing in our bits before you can say, "Gee, nice weather we're having today." Please, I'm not some flathead doesn't know her hygroscopic compounds. You mess with the balance, you risk the whole thing combusting. Are you loaded to the bulkhead? There is no universe where that works. Law, I can't believe I'm agreeing to this. All right, scientist, do your worst. I'll be over there if you need me. Way over there. Should clear the blast radius at that distance. All right, so you got her working. Bully for you. You say that, but I'm guessing you mean the opposite. Here, managed to cobble some frags together from a damaged mine earlier. Who knows? Might get you out of a pinch one of these days. And seeing how expertly you worked, you may as well take this armor modification too. I'm sure you'll have an easier time installing it than I would.
I begin laboring for Auntie. Is everything supposed to be so
Mind
sweet?
your own business interests.
I'm simply not credulous enough to... I'd welcome you, would-be consumer, but we are not a retail operation. Please visit the various consumer locations around Fairfield for all your purchasing needs. I have far too many claims on my time to be able to cater to the curious at the moment. I was meant to have help, but they lacked the barest amount of gray matter it takes to keep from getting locked up by excessive corporate malfeasance. So, I'm on my own here. Breaking my back, trying to buttress all these vines on top of all my other jobs. Oh, the bits I wouldn't pay for some of those mechs the Protectorate used to work this place. So, is there anything else, or can I get back to work? What? No, that's... I was just being sardonic. It's my way of saying, I'm so tired, it feels like I've got 50 jobs. Quite the setup, ain't it? Before we took Fairfield, Auntie's Choice didn't have anything like this. Every kind of plant we've got was made to thrive in a chemical vat. But the Protectorate grows all their greens the old-fashioned way, with water and soil and actual fertilizer. I can't decide if it's adorably quaint or just plain daft. Then again, they all only have one job, so they have the time to indulge in all those sorts of archaic whimsies. Damn lucky Crabble copulators. Well, I've got a lot left to do and not much time left to do it in, so you can show yourself out.
Ectoplasm. Wait. Nope. Just Terox.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Is that not why you've come? Because you discovered our recent larceny at the greenhouse? How coincidental. When we've finished here, your fellows will call your death the same. The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. I am merely quivering with rage over this insulting interrogation. And that scent you so subtly pointed out is the aroma of noble effort. Foreign to you, I'm sure. Enough! We know what is expected of us, and we have readied ourselves to meet death in all its personas. Have you? What the?
You did me a big favor here. I knew someone, or something, had been absconding with food from the greenhouse, but never in a million skips would I have guessed it were stowaways. Huh. Guess I had this mystery all wrong. Small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. I thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. Huh. Well, she always did wrench my funny bone with her pranks. It must seem woeful of me to be carrying on in this fashion, though, don't it? Looking for signs and such. She was. Yeah. Oh, that feels good to say aloud, even if it hurts too. Romantic entanglements ain't exactly encouraged between troopers, especially in the same division. Supposedly compromises our decision-making in the field. But I digress. Thanks for your help, and for listening to my languishments. Glad someone else might remember her now, too. Emmeline will be pleased not to have to worry about her fruits and such going missing anymore.
Why choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's choice? Remember, Auntie knows best. Auntie's choice is the proud maker of Spacer's Chaw, Zero-G Brew, and antibiotics. Everything you need to get through your day.
I going to need a furniture?
You certainly can't have mine. What kind of skills do you have?
Pleasure not doing business with you.
Welcome, welcome. See anything you like? Well, if it isn't a new face in Fairfield. What I meant to say is that we now have the new improved Purple Berry Crunch. Now with 10% more flavor. Or was it crunch? That? That's nothing. Just, supply list. Oh, I suppose my advertorial deficiencies are obvious, huh? Knew I should have gone in on that extra training course. Anyway, let's try this again. Welcome to More Perfect Goods, a proud Auntie's Choice franchise. How can I improve your day? Thanks for noticing. All part of the presentation, of course. Think success, present success, be success. It'd be a mite tricky for anyone to swipe something when I'm standing right here. Nothing gets past these peepers. Like they say, a bit spent today is a bullet fired tomorrow.
Peddle your wares elsewhere. yet you see fit to keep me in a constant state of consternation. With each unauthorized act, you jeopardize our hold of Fairfield.
Yes, but you must understand, the Protectorate citizenry is a hair's breadth from defection. Within the week, I'm certain.
Certain. Like the week prior and the week before that. Impressive foresight you wield. Should apply to join the Order of the Ascendant.
It would be difficult enough to convert the stubborn populace without your soldiers' constant, ill-advised forays.
Enough! Your yipping reminds me of my 2 old canids. I loved those canids. You, on the other hand, are trying my patience. We don't want to try Auntie's patience, do we?
No, Auntie.
Yes, I thought not. Now, unless you care to see what life in the lower rungs looks like, you will both of you cease your foolish maneuvering immediately. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Auntie.
Good. See that it is done. I will brook no more disappointments. And while you're at it, you might want to look into your security situation, Commander. I'm not accustomed to an audience when addressing my subordinates.
Who in the void? Eavesdropping on Auntie's choice business is like to get a body shot for spying. Though you're not wanting for moxie. I'll give you that.
Now hold a moment, Carr. When opportunity comes visiting, perhaps it's better not to riddle it full of holes. Our new compatriot may be of assistance.
A surprisingly good point, especially from you. She only forbade us using our own personnel. Be a whole other matter were a stranger to happen to aid one of us. But which? Well, you seem an observant sort, so I expect you'll tire of Milver Street's bluster soon enough. Come see me before agreeing to whatever absurdity he proposes. Unlike him, I have some work actually befitting your time. I'll be waiting.
Alone at last. I never thought she'd leave. Now then, allow me to introduce myself. I am D.B. Milver Street, Minister of Marketing, Duke of Demographics, Commercial Condottiere, President of Promotional Material. Tell me, do you believe in signs? I say, anyone can be an ally, even a supposed enemy. All you need is the right combination of motivators. I do not believe in signs. I believe in opportunities. Right now, at this moment, you and I have an opportunity to save countless lives. But I'm hardly the type to beg and ask for nothing in return. Tell me, what do you desire of this island?
With that hat? Absolutely not.
Is this a bad time to mention I can read lips? I've some faint recollections of the fuzz beneath my hat. Perhaps I saw such a name amidst my perusal of the Protectorate domicile assignment records. The record room is in this building. You have my permission to peruse at your leisure. But surely a go-getter like yourself has more ambitious goals on our island. Share them with me, and we can brave them together. Tisk tisk. I appreciate your devotion to remaining mum, but I simply cannot work with a freelancer who I do not intimately understand. Ambitious, aren't we? Easily the best protected location on Paradise Island. Hardly a place for a stroll. But if you assist me, I promise to get you inside. Better yet, helping me shall result in our saving dozens, no, hundreds of lives. Your conscience shall be renewed. You're a hard sell. All right, I'll play this your way. If I attain my goals, I suspect I shall find it far easier to ascend within Auntie's choice. And I'm especially willing to aid you. Did that get your attention? Auntie may demand Carr and I do nothing, but for each moment I remain inactive, dozens fall in meaningless combat. I seek a persuasive method of alleviating this conflict. The Protectorate utilizes a procedure known as mental refreshment to ease the temperament of wayward subjects. The Ministry of Accuracy contains vital information about the process and where it is performed. This is the prize I seek. I previously sent a grafted soldier, Trooper Sealong, to retrieve said information, but I have not heard from her in some time. Consequently, I must presume the worst. Yes, one additional word of warning. The good Commander Carr shall not take kindly to your working with me, though that is a bridge most worth burning in my estimate.
Watch out for that Auntie Cleo. I know she don't look it, but she's more dangerous than she seems.
You're here early. I expected you'd be on the receiving end of Milver Street's bluster until close to the end of time. Happy that ain't the case, as I can make use of you. I'm Officer Babylon Carr, head of aggressive acquisitions and persons elimination on Paradise Island. Let no one say I can't be official when circumstances merit. Now, not to say I question the presence of a wayward sightseer in the midst of a war-torn waste, but it might be safer for us both if I knew your purpose. The Vox, eh? Bent on bloody self-destruction, I could just have my troops dispatch you, save you the effort. Although if you were keen on continuing to draw breath, perhaps you and I could broker a deal. There are Protectorate vitals need bled. You could do the bleeding. This fine settlement is Fairfield. Once in the Protectorate's grasping claws, now Auntie's newest foothold on Paradise Island. When we arrived, it was thick with yaysayers, a hair's breadth away from sacrificing themselves to their old masters. Now they've seen the golden glow of the free market. Entertaining as it is to root out dozens of entrenched, suicidally murderous subjects, I'd take the efficiency of capitulation any day. Only thing not suspicious in this life is when a body points a gun at you. You can rest assured I don't expect these turncoats are as true as their word. We keep them away from heavy machinery and weapons, and we make them earn their keep. Through that, any who ain't truly converted will learn, sooner or later. Unusual refers to every turncoat and is not a halfway strong enough phrase. Try gormless cretins who can not so much as wipe their running noses without begging permission. Don't know if there's a DeVries here, not my department. Milver Street befriends the ex-subjects, keeps tabs on them. Ask him. Why are you looking for them? Who are they to you? So happens that I know the feeling from the receiving end. Bevy of ex-lovers who took my losing interest personal. Romance is a transaction, same as anything. If the deal's no good anymore, walk. And if someone tries to cheat you, make them regret it. My employer would assuredly be filled with wrath if it were my forces I were committing. But enlisting a freelancer on my own dime is hardly committing any forces. If you fail, I'll be out nothing, and Auntie shall be none the wiser. And if you succeed, I can't be blamed if my plans came to fruition on their own. Ah, I haven't broken an idealist over my knee in ages. Open your ears wide, friend, for this is a whetstone well scoured. Efficiency saves human lives. Engage a detachment in open combat. Expect dozens dead on both sides. Kill their commander beforehand, and their soldiers will rout without a shot fired. Such is war. Milver Street, for all his book learning, doesn't seem capable of understanding such. I hope you're a sharper sort than he, willing to do what must be done. I want the Protectorate war effort exsanguinated. You want into the Vox Relay. You help me, I help you. There's a particular holding we shelled early in the war, name of Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center. Deserves raising for the length of its blasted name alone. My scouts report recent Protectorate attempts to bring it back to functioning. I need the place sabotaged, lest Automechs return to aid the Protectorate war effort in droves. Should note, the ministers like to take our working together as a personal affront. Aid me, and I suspect he'll rescind any offer he may have made to you. Certainly could. I wouldn't shed a tear on behalf of those drones, but the Protectorate is used to losing its people, and there'd no doubt be a replacement crew in a week's time. The repair center itself needs to be permanently put out of commission. Anything else is temporary. Do you suggest that our good minister has lost patience with playing fair and now seeks to delve into the oily recesses of brainwashing? Oh, for shame. He's devoted to his half-measures. I'll give him that. But he wouldn't have to wheedle and connive if he knew directness. Milver Street's grinning manipulation won't earn nothing but more of our own dead. Work with me. Think all you like. Speak to Milver Street if he ain't already stuck his hooks in you. I'm confident you got the spine for what must be done.
Greetings again. You have my undivided attention. What's on your mind? Carr wishes to use dubious military intelligence to justify a foolhardy assault, and she's treating you as her personal courier. It concerns me that she's asked you for assistance. Surely you're not considering aiding her. Anything you desire, so long as you agree to aid me instead. An opportunity to attain my goals and stick my finger in Babylon's eye? Today's as grand as when I led in the performance department showing of Life of a Salesman. Find your way to the Ministry of Accuracy. And if Trooper Sealong is still alive, do send her back here to debrief. She's still contracted to us after all.
Heard you're working for Milver Street. You can consider my offer formally rescinded. No reason to believe he wouldn't attempt to sabotage anything I attempted.
Agent DeVries will require greater amounts of ammunition than you currently possess. Ammunition can be purchased at vending machines. or crafted at a workbench using materials like this collection of scrap metal and powder.
I can also help you craft items in a pinch when we're out together. Most won't even explode on you. Reese sure has some chic putting the Earth Directory symbol on her wall after everything she's done. Hold on.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. It seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me, though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it, though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientician. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? How can you be so even-tempered about this? I know you didn't know her like I did. Like I thought I did, but she betrayed us. She killed our friends, Commander. Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, No point in judging up the past. Should have known he wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. Some might embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figured my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangulum. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. Ain't cynical if it turns out true. DeVries was willing to sacrifice us. I have to know what for. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic. Real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Used to think they were good people trying to do right by their beliefs. But if they put the idea in DeVries' head to leave us for dead, might be time I reassess that opinion. I don't take issue with folks clinging to whatever keeps them afloat. Math, science, the grand architect, void, even capital. I know how most colonies run. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. No, didn't even know DeVries was alive until she brought the satellite down. Until then, what kept me going was mostly training and stubbornness. And Val. But to your point, holding someone who's wronged you accountable for their actions ain't an act of vengeance. Some might call it justice. Right after we get answers. Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox Relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there. Reckon there's got to be someone on the island who can help us with that. Let's keep asking around. Friendly like. Best keep your lamps lit for wildlife.
Hostile wildlife. Familial classification of Raptidon. Detected ahead.
I swear that wasn't planned. Give the order and I'll take care of it, Commander. Might I have a word, Commander? I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn, but void it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-protectorate, a good man. Tracked him to Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit? Brief one, of course. No, I mean, at least not since that time I tried mixing my own detergent, but I'm sure you don't want to hear about that. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. Much as I might love to jaw about that special interest of mine, this business with Zeb's gotta come first. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the Protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Resistance is a mite strong. Wasn't like he was part of some greater movement. He avoided speaking out of line, but he was already spinning up discontent by the time we met. I think I've given the wrong impression. For all his anger, it wasn't like Zeb was going around with a revolver, much as he might have wanted to. We mostly helped folks avoid getting into trouble over minor infractions. Or tried to anyway. We worked hard. But the Arbiters and Sentinels, well, they worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Well, you weren't. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there.
Slow down. Schultz went where? Sakes alive. Schultz!
Solicit elsewhere.
You seen Dere anywhere?
No, he went.
Anyone got lamps on Schultz? Anyone? Void be damned. Sallying into the wire like that with nary a wish in her pocket? What was she thinking? Did I not make clear our orders to hold the line here regardless of provocation? Should my instructions have been more robust? Perhaps assisted by pictures?
I'm afraid there's more bad news, Commander. She also took Scrabbles, sir.
Would that he'd done her more good. Seems Calamity has claimed 2 good soldiers today. You there. I don't normally sanction nameless passers-by giving ear to my private discourse. You have some brass sauntering into my base and then acting coy about your reasons. Whatever your purpose, I feel a contractual obligation to warn you against setting a heel past this base. If you go any further, you go alone and at your own peril. No Auntie's forces are permitted beyond the forward position upon pain of disemployment and possible litigation. Our orders are to sit and mind the store for as long as need be. Though I've cogitated on the matter at some length, I lack answers. Only those breathing the rarefied air of the upper rungs could say for sure. Mystifying as the decision is, I'm confident Carr has some grand strategy at play, even if I have not, for some irksome reason, been made privy to it. By steadfastly holding the line here, we forestall any retribution the Protectorate would seek to inflict upon Fairfield. And we will continue said watch until orders change. Calamity digs its claws in deeper. Thank you for notifying me of their demise. I'll send a car for replacements, and pray we do not suffer another attack before then. I half believed you meant that offer. Unless you weren't being playful. I confess, the challenge of holding the forward position does not satisfy, as might a straight-on tussle. But I would prefer to avoid staining my reputation by participating in such a needless blunder. Carr was, shall we say, non-ambiguous with her orders. Such an argument isn't as compelling as you believe. The soldier who does not consider defeat all but guarantees it. Far be it from me to speak poorly of a superior, but I have pondered over her choices as of late. She's been sullen about sharing her strategy, too. Still, however brightly my star burns, I remain in her orbit. She is my superior officer. I defied her once, and I received the verbal tanning of a lifetime for it. I'd thank you to affix some ballast to that name when you speak it. Scrabbles has been integral to this unit's success for years. Outsiders may see him as a toy, but we've bled alongside that stuffed sprat. He's damn near family. Schultz obviously knew the risks and hoped he'd protect her through the minefield. Alas, even Scrabble's power has limits. Still would help morale to get him back, though. Before you depart, a final word. Stay out of the minefield. I won't be the one who answers to Carr when the Protectorate mistake your rootless gallivanting for encroachment.
schedule an appointment if you need to talk to me.
Don't even think about disrupting the marketplace. Enter elsewhere.
Stranger, consider yourself lucky that I've been ordered to not open fire unless fired upon. I will not suffer an outsider to trespass and trample further through our lands. Turn back from this bridge now, lest my ever-depleting prudence be spent. One could say, I don't know what's worse, standing guard against those vile invaders or the burdens Brigadier Montelli has foisted on me now that he's ensconced in the Vox relay. He's been fervent of late, looking for any Protectorate subjects who have displayed disloyalty. In his estimation, any associations with wrongdoers results in swift execution. That has, unfortunately, put many folk in his sights, myself included. And so we wait for the proverbial axe to fall. You actually believe you can contend with him. You are mistaken. He'll cut you open gleefully, then issue you demerits for bleeding on the floor. And you also have no business at the relay, as far as I can surmise. You dare to propose an arrangement? I may have need of your help, stranger, if you are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate. I know of 2 traitors who yet remain on this island. Bring them to me, and I'll dispose of them before the Brigadier questions my loyalty and deems me guilty by association. In return, I shall grant you clearance to cross the bridge. Fair exchange, wouldn't you say?
A lot more folks are gonna die if we don't catch up to DeVries. We have to consider our options, even the ugly ones. If these folks are deserving, maybe it's worth it.
I commend you for your eager interest. I think 2 traitors in particular. First is Ida Rutledge, a worker at Spire Grove. I once had utmost respect for her. We were, oh, damn it all, we were friends. When the Grove went silent during the invasion, I assumed she'd fought to the death as any subject would. But reportedly, she's not only failed to die, but is also teaching the enemy soldiers how to use the equipment. Conspiring against us. Such treachery is unconscionable. There are those who might agree with you. But under my jurisdiction, the form in which justice takes is of little matter. With that matter sorted, I simply require the second traitor in hand, Charlton Weintraut of Westport. It should not escape your notice that we share the same surname. He too failed to die defending his home during the invasion alongside the other residents of Westport. They'll be seen to in time. But Charlton, well, I must deal with him personally. Oh, how I anticipate wiping that smug expression off his face. Are these orders clear? I am not. And with luck, I will not have to pull his once justice has been meted. Anyone who allowed the enemy to overrun their land is a traitor. So yes, my dear cousin must answer for his crimes. Now go. Remember, once I have both traitors apprehended, you may cross the bridge. but beware if you step out of line. Other subjects may not be so generous with their deal-making as I. Farewell.
Gonna need a bigger storeroom for all these orders.
Protectorate folks must have been bored out of their skulls before we showed up. Now life in Fairfield's a real shindig. Well, except for the handful of hullheads who couldn't accept this place as under new management. Sure figured it out.
Jackson, don't! Don't fret. With these boots, I can fly! Oh! Die on me, Jackson! You're too young to be a crater in the dirt!
Oh, law. I can't believe he jumped that way.
Sir, I know this isn't the time, but are they gonna put us to the gallows for this?
What? No. That ain't how we operate in Auntie's choice, Liza. We might be looking at a pretty fierce demotion for losing half our workforce and getting stuck up here, though.
Demotion to fertilizer?
No. Now cease your jawing. This ain't the time. Hey, you! You down there! Would you mind checking on our fellow? Might he have survived the fall? Damn. Well, that draws an end to both our hopes for those boots and our association with poor Jackson. He thought those boots would make him fly, but they really just allow the user to jump repeatedly. Unless their downward velocity is too great. If so, well, you see what happens. Dying, actually. Dying in a fairly slow, agonizing manner. We've been stuck atop this machine since Ida, one of our new Protectorate acquisitions, had her gray matter scrambled by the height, jumped down, and landed right in its gears. That's right. She joined us shortly after Auntie liberated her with the freedom of meritocracy. and she seemed happy enough. I can't fathom no sensible motive why she'd jump.
Were you not listening? She said she'd always be a loyal subject. It was part of the endless inculcation we endured in the Protectorate. It can prove insurmountable for some.
The notion that she'd sacrifice herself even after seeing the vast possibilities in staying alive and climbing the corporate ladder, it's just impossible to cognize. The reason Jackson tried using those plasma thruster boots was to gather a piece of machinery we'd spotted on a little table halfway up the spire.
It's a drive overloader. If we install it, we can push the platform's arm hard enough to... well, to grind old Ida out of the gears.
Though the power of that overloader will deluge the system and, well, overload the drive and burn it out all permanent-like. But desperate times and all that.
So if you were to use them boots to bound up the spire and deliver the overloader to us, we'd avoid the tragic fate of our 2 former cohorts.
Exactly! Because he had no idea how science works and thought the word thrusters meant he could fly. So, when I told him to jump, he opted for open air instead of where I told him to go. They're experimental. We'd not laid eyes on them before, but the data we found with them says they were actually designed to let people hop their way up the spire. If you activate the plasma thrusters when you're already airbound, they could give you a fair bit of extra boost. It should let you turn a quick hop into a surprisingly grand vault. I don't know about no macro-fried whatever you said. They're Protectorate gear, and that's about all I know.
That, and that they're perfectly safe. Oh, thank the Sovereign. Thank you, stranger. We are eagerly anticipating a long life, utterly absent of starvation. Rutamulum. They're found in bandages and burn tinctures. If you don't have that drive overloader, ascending may be a waste.
That's it? It was that easy?
We to a most harrowing circumstance, At least I'm glad I'm not alone. He hadn't been here terribly long, so we weren't particularly familiar. Like me, he was also former Protectorate, but he was not raised in Fairfield, so we'd never met before. Still, he seemed like a friendly, kind sort, albeit a headstrong one. I'm sorry he's gone. Please do hurry. I've lost count of how many meals we've missed, but it is closer to many than a few, and we're starving.
And only if your supervisor can readily replace.
Oh, thank the law. I never thought of myself as a vertiginous sort, but being trapped 100 meters in the air will make you reconsider.
I mirror that sentiment, to be certain. In fact, Auntie will have to pay me triple if heights are to be involved. And isn't it grand to be in a system that allows me that freedom?
I agree with Liza. I'm inclined to keep a few paces from farming equipment from now on. Here's your reward for evacuating us with all our parts intact. I perhaps ain't as awash in currency as I'd prefer, so you can have my helmet as well. It was useful for identifying crops we'd missed in our harvest, but to be honest, I'd like a little distance from plants for a spell.
This is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
The anguish she always seemed to battle with, I fear it may have finally overwhelmed her. And could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. No. But even not knowing the details, I could see it troubled her. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things, for some reason she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia, but You know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That, and the invasion itself, set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she... well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter, and she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up, even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting with them, even as she was deep into scheming with Victor and the others. She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. I understand. Perhaps it actually is for the best. I truly cannot say. Welcome back to my chapel of fear and futility.
Be advised. Physiological cues indicate acute cantankerousness in nearby armed guards. A stealthy approach is suggested.
When you need a distraction.
agent!
Ready to wait, sir. On your command.
Disrupting my entire day. This every time.
Commander, watch your vitals!
Danger. Stranger ahead.
You go slow,
Emergency protocol syringes primed.
Mandatory retirement.
Place is in shambles. What happened here?
I've counted at least 6 horrendous death screams since you arrived. You must be affected as well. You there? Oh, could it be? You seem an honest-to-goodness rational human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. Well then, by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, under Outbreak Provision 5A, I hereby press you into service to aid me in our present crisis. I, Elmet Ormsby, Product Envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious Advances, am your interim supervisor. Oh, all that pleading and the like. Yes. Well, it's only my second time trapped in a laboratory basement, and I do admit, I did panic just a little. But back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me, as an aide-de-camp of sorts, on a brief yet no doubt exhilarating assignment. Whole thing was ghastly. One of my assistants and I heard a loud noise. He left to investigate while I continued working on our experiment. When he failed to return, I peeked outside and saw the others run in, bloody, gibbering, hunting for targets. They'd clearly been exposed to some virulent new form of experimental agent. I ran back and locked myself in this test chamber to avoid contamination. Yes, the Protectorate formerly utilized it for seed storage or something equally prosaic. Nothing as provocative as groundbreaking research. Our lab had been researching the red spores that grow nearby to see if they might contribute to future Auntie's Choice products. As per usual, we threw precaution to the wind. A local spore sample interacted with a wonderfully preservative-rich diet of Auntie's Choice personnel. inadvertently leading to a chance reaction causing profound irritability. To a somewhat homicidal degree, it would seem to appear. By that measure, our work here could be considered a moderate success. I mean, only judged by that narrow frame of reference. An auspicious start by certain ways of thinking, which I hardly share. I care about my staff so much. Speaking of the team, such as they are in their present deranged state, how did you make it past them? You know, without being killed. Aha, thought so. Sometimes with screaming, it can be difficult to discern intent, like, "Ah, I'm being killed," can be so close to, "Ah, I'm running amok." Shame. The staff and I all had such good chemistry together. Suppose it couldn't be helped, though. What matters most is getting out of here alive, saving our research as a close second, and curing my remaining colleagues a firm third. As you're now one of them, I'll take that as a compliment. But enough glad-handing me. Regarding what we need, well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think? Just so. You seem no stranger to this type of work, eh? Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions? We'll need two things: fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the expedition that originally uncovered them. After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order, with your skilled assistance, of course. Spore samples may be taken from a red plant indigenous to an area of tall rock formations northwest of here, ingeniously referred to as the Red Spire. The research team's findings are on a terminal in another building on these same grounds. A satellite lab to this one, if you will. Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, we can save my remaining colleagues, so best not murder them all in the meantime.
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
Commencing combat-related activities.
since Horizon Point.
Niles.
Howdy, Zeb. You look... well.
Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say, you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters. And who precisely are you? Another Earth Directorate cast-off? So you're the one responsible for the severity of Niles' injuries. You ordered him to remain behind on a fruitless recovery effort.
Way to see the tank half full there, Commander.
So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine. I see no one here I would count a friend. And if you think a few gracious words will mollify me, you are sorely mistaken.
Look, I'm not just here to gas you over with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the Consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The Cipher isn't transmitting...
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zeb?
That was one of my operatives. I organized a mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, that means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
Then let's hope the ship also takes its time arriving, and that my friend's pain threshold withstands any attempts to soften them up for the Consul.
inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure,
At least it's not shooting the water anymore.
indoctrinatory falsity.
Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile. Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate. Apologies, but I don't believe I should be discussing such matters with you without permission. Once you report to the Vigilant, I'd be happy to speak freely. Word to the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
The Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it.
So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Aunties invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. All right, well, don't let me keep you.
Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of perfect
Stranger?
symmetry.
Greetings. And lack of community.
It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
Take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the Sovereign.
And that would be worse than what we've already endured? We are better than they. And I, for one, refuse to give Auntie and her ilk the pleasure of compromising our pride. That is unlikely, as they are too ignorant to see our obvious superiority. Our society was built from the bedrock up, through the vision of our matriarch. Due to her genius, the structure of our society is perfect, planned down to the last subject. We all work as a unified whole for the betterment of all. Unlike those corporate colonies, where it's every person for themselves.
Complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the Sovereign, devised the paradigm.
Obviously, there was some sort of betrayal from within. Even a perfect society has its malcontents, and selfish consumerism is an alluring drug for weak minds. But consider all we've achieved that others have not. Why, we've even eradicated manual labor through our perfection of auto mechanicals. Can aunties claim such?
Like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within
I will not speak of them. I dislike even doing so indirectly. That brings me to a matter I'd like to discuss with you, actually. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the Vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory...
We are of like minds. We lack not the skill to do so. Our wily chief mechanist can reprogram the mech, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts. Why, we're traitors, obviously. We've not fulfilled our duties as members of the Protectorate. It is incumbent upon us to fight to the death, yet we still live, as does our enemy. Now, either the Arbiters arrive to execute us, or this place falls under the vapid boot heel of Auntie's choice. No matter who wins, we cannot sustain ourselves here for long. These fine and decent folk don't deserve having their lives thrown away on account of my failures. If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the Arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such. Hence my use of the term reasonable facsimile. I owe it to every single person here to try. That's abundantly kind of you, though there must be something I can offer.
Material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all...
Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
Even the most robust ecosystem, like those nettlesome raptidons, or...
Farewell now.
Individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides.
Ecotope as our home, and devised the paradigm as... appeared right out of the aether. Just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintraut.
Of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful.
Did I? Not again. Oh, this? It's a birthmark, skin condition, both, about which I am rather sensitive, thank you very kindly. A purple what now? Is that an actual term in use? Huh, I don't know. You come in here spouting made-up words and,
We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Would a true ally speak so plainly? Or coolly remark with some cryptic double entendre? Straight talk seems more the province of hidden agents, savvily angling to trick somebody. If you were a sentinel, or in some sentinel-adjacent role, I'd of course be honored to have you inspect my belongings. Unfortunately, my house is currently besieged by Crabbles. In any case, back to it.
If each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Why, hello again. Any new business to discuss? Involving secret sympathies and sugary spoils? If I am not the person for it, I would be most surprised. Do tell. I normally might, but my cousin, the warden there, freely enjoys stringing up Auntie's choice sympathizers, and Marilyn would grant no reprieve to family. That seems neither prudent nor wise. I value my neck and do not intend to hang. Why, you're right. I am no member of the herd. I think for myself. You've convinced me. Well, all right then. I will pack my things and head out in due course. Glad this world has folks like you just going around helping people realize their enormous unrevealed potential. I, for one, am the better for it.
Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all...
You've brought me my poor, hapless cousin. If only it were under better circumstances.
I don't believe there is any circumstance, cousin, in which you would celebrate our meeting. Whatever you intend to do, I can only hope you do it quickly.
Patriarch, have mercy. So he has not only turned traitor, but he has also fallen prey to corporate manipulations. I thank you for bringing this to my attention. Look at you. Your lips are stained with snacks, and Auntie's poisoned chalice. You have shamed our family.
Say what you might, cousin, but that sugary snack goodness was worth my life. I'd do it all again, had I an additional life to spare.
If only you had not strayed so far from home. Cadra, you know your orders. Now then, have you any word of Ida? What? How do you know this? Keen as I am to entertain this, am I expected to take traitors and corporatists at their word? Let me see that. Yes. Yes! This does appear to be hers. Unfortunately, there are reports of the Harvester having been repaired in the wake of her sabotage. Though her triumph may not have endured, it was a good effort nonetheless. Should Montelli deign to interrogate me for my associations, I'll be certain to inform him of her patriotism. Spare me. She would have expressed the same manner of joy upon hearing news of my atonement. Duty above all. A true Protectorate subject knows this. Since you have already delivered me Charlton, our arrangement is concluded. You may cross the bridge. Safe passage assured. Cadra, lower the bridge. Remember, there will be no negotiations, no staying of hands north of the bridge. If you step out of line, may the matriarch have mercy on you. Montelli surely won't.
Alert. Access to cross the ravine has been granted.
Roads I imagined myself traveling down. Never expected I'd end up hanging above one.
Prisoner 34989.
Enemy approximating in our vicinity, Commander.
There is no place for you in the paradigm. You are hereby sentenced to death for the crimes of desertion and opposing the...
Give the warden! I'll take care of him, Commander.
The end of me. Thank you for saving me. I wish I could return your kindness in some capacity, but I left everything behind when I fled. Though you're most welcome to my old Protectorate equipment on that ledge. I won't require any of it from here on out. That part of my life is behind me for good, it seems. The commander of the base to the east, Brigadier Montelli, has gone mad. He's executing loyal subjects as traitors on a whim, without even a mention of refreshment. He claims his actions are in the name of the Sovereign, but nothing he does is in alignment with the paradigm. He's obviously ill and needs to be removed. My partner and I are loyal subjects of the Protectorate, but we were forced to flee after pointing out the obvious. Is everyone so oblivious that they can't see what is going on? Unfortunately so. Although this must be the first time. It's only temporary, though. I know the Sovereign will soon put it right. I was to meet my partner in a cave to the northwest of here. We were going to hide until the current Montelli crisis has been resolved. I fled Montelli, but I'm still loyal. Once I stop shaking, I'll continue on my way. Thank you again, stranger. I owe you my life.
Figured this ship would have departed by now. You know how Sentinels are. They take their time.
Readying assault protocol.
Avoid it. Invasion!
Back again. Thought we were done for now. Break as many fingers as pleases you. Still won't change my tune. Wait. Who are you? I'm certain I haven't seen you before. I remember all my oppressors.
We're not Protectorate. We're your ticket out of this hotbox. Esculepe sent us.
Esculepe? Zeb sent you? Wait, you're Niles, aren't you? Count on Zeb to go as far as raising the dead to help. But it's too late. I gather you haven't noticed the bodies in the pen here.
Oh. The others don't look like they suffered easy deaths. What happened?
Montelli, damn him! He executed March and Pharaoh outright, ranting about traitors. Then the Consul Sentinel arrived to conduct a preliminary interrogation. She tortured us for information. The others didn't survive her enthusiasm for the work. I'm only here because the Consul wants someone brought back to him, alive. Lucky me. The cipher, right. I managed to memorize it before I was nabbed. 02519W. Should help Zeb decode the intelligence we sent him a whole lot faster. Kind of you to offer, but I'm not going anywhere.
If you're too hurt to walk, I'm sure the commander and I could...
No, it's not that. I need the Sentinel to take me onto that transport. I want her to think she's won. And then, just as we leave orbit, I'm going to blow her pretty ship to pieces. I'm not planning to rely on actual munitions, but I thank you for the offer. All the same, I'm no martyr. If there was another way to protect Zebulon and our cell, I'd take it. But if I escape, the Protectorate will pursue me, and everyone I care about will be in danger. I'll make it look like an accident. Mechanical failure. When I was being tortured, I saw some frayed wires near the fuel system. With the right spark, I think I can ignite it.
I have my doubts. Even if she managed to spark a few wires, that ship's bound to have a fire suppression system. It would kick in if there was any real ignition.
What do you propose then?
Not blowing yourself up for starters.
You know how relentless the Protectorate is. But if I die, that's the end of it. The Consul will turn his attention elsewhere, and our cause can continue in the shadows. Please, if you can help me sabotage the transport, then help me. We don't have much time.
Might be I could sabotage the transport from the outside. Make it look like negligent maintenance. What do you think, Commander?
The others paid with their blood to protect the cause. How can I be unwilling to do the same?
Yes, Commander. Stay put. Shouldn't take me too long. Done. Won't go into the particulars, but you can trust that ship will blow the moment it hits orbit.
Excellent work. I see why Zebulon liked having you around. I'd say I won't forget how you've helped me, but, well, you know. Tell Zeb what happened, won't you? That it was my decision. And I was at peace with it. The bravest thing I ever did was start thinking for myself. Everything else after that's been easy.
Good luck, Audra.
Likewise. And thank you both, again.
You've returned, but where are the others? Hold a moment. What's that in the sky? A Protectorate transport? What in the blazes was that? What of my team? That wasn't the vessel sent for them, was it? Tell me they were not on board. And you didn't think to dissuade her? Damn it, Niles! Our cause isn't served by more corpses. Perhaps with time, that will be of some comfort. Was she at least able to give you the cipher before the end? I wish the success of this venture had not come at such a terrible cost. But at least it was not for nothing. Perhaps I was mistaken about your commitment to making amends, Niles. Thank you for being true.
Can't fault you for having doubts. But I have changed. I am changing.
I hope you'll both forgive me my earlier disposition. I'm not normally so surly. I'm pleased Niles has found such a supportive friend and ally. That's a rare thing in this colony. I haven't much to reward you with, but take this. It's something I had started on for Niles long ago. Hopefully it fits. This information came at a steep price, but I'll put it to good use. Expect to hear from me should our cause require further assistance from the Earth Directorate's best. Never fear. Next time, I fully intend to involve you in said trouble before it develops into a full-blown predicament.
Reckon I like the sound of that. Until next time, then.
Just need to pack my things and I'll depart. Best not to stay in any one location for too long.
Feels good, don't it? Helping folks like Zeb and Audra hit back against the Protectorate. Almost like being back with the Earth Directorate. No love lost between you and the Directorate these days, huh? Not hard to see why, of course. It's easy to focus on all that's going wrong, but wins ought to be celebrated too. On Triangular might have suggested going for drinks somewhere they don't come with fuel, but here, I think we'll have to settle for patting each other on the back. Shucks, Commander. I'm gonna get top-heavy you keep paying me compliments like that. Thanks again for going out of your way to help Zeb. Now I can focus on hunting down the Vrees without feeling like I've got a rabid sprat in my back pocket. Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander?